In a time long ago, a young man was seemingly living his best life, but behind his outward appearance of contentment, he grappled with persistent anxiety, frequently feeling overwhelmed by the relentless torrent of his thoughts and emotions. One day, he decided to seek the guidance of a wise old monk who lived high up in the mountains. The journey to the old monk's abode was treacherous, and he had to climb steep cliffs and cross raging rivers. But he persisted, driven by his desire to find a solution to his anxiety. When he finally reached the top of the mountain, he was greeted by the old monk who welcomed him with a warm smile. He shared his troubles with the monk, who listened patiently and then said, "Anxiety is like a river that flows through your mind. You can either let it consume you, or you can learn to let it flow away." The young man was confused and asked the old monk to explain what he meant. The monk replied, "Imagine you are standing by the side of a small stream, and you see a leaf floating on the surface. The leaf represents your anxiety, and the stream represents your mind. You can either try to stop the leaf from floating, which will cause it to get stuck and block the flow of the stream, or you can let it flow freely and watch it move downstream." The man was amazed by the monk's metaphor and asked him how he could let his anxiety flow like the leaf. The old monk explained, "Detachment and acceptance are key, my young friend. Detach yourself from your anxiety and accept it for what it is. If you do not accept the presence of your anxiety and instead resist it, you grant it more power over you. Don't identify with your anxiety or make it a part of you. Instead, observe it as a passing thought or feeling. When you do this, you give your anxiety the space to flow and move on, instead of getting stuck in your mind." The young man thanked the old monk for his wisdom and said his goodbye to the wise monk. The monk wished the man farewell and said, "Remember that suffering only comes from identifying with the problem and seeing it as a part of you, but at the core, it is not yours. You are just experiencing it. Embrace it with compassion and let it flow." The young man returned to the way back of the mountain, back to his home. The moral of the story is that when facing anxiety and overwhelming thoughts, it's essential to practice detachment and acceptance. Just like a leaf floating on a stream, anxiety should be observed as a passing experience, rather than something that defines who you are. By not identifying with anxiety and allowing it to flow, you can find peace and prevent it from consuming you. Embrace it with compassion, and remember, don't fight it, let it flow. Thank you for watching. This was ZenCat Chronicles. Have a wonderful day.